All right, so we are here with Norma Jean, a portion at least. If you could just introduce your name and what you play in the band.
My name's Corey, and I'm the singer for Norma Jean.
Awesome. All right, so if you could just tell us a little bit about this tour and like how pumped you are to be on it, that'd be awesome.
I'm really pumped to be on this tour. No, just kidding. No, this tour is awesome. I think it's easily the best heavy tour of the summer, or if not the year. I mean, it rules. I watched the whole show the first day just to see what was on, who was playing, and it's really diverse lineup, and I think that rules. Just to have a bunch of different people, all heavy music fans though. All really cool tour. Love it.
All right, so you guys have a new album coming out. Could you tell us a little about that? Obviously, it's being anticipated by many.
Yeah, it's called Wrongdoers. It's out August 6th. We spent about 2 years writing it, sporadically on and off, in between tours and things. We did 2.5 months in the studio in Kansas City, and I'm kind of glad it's over with. I'm glad it's coming out though. We're really proud of it. So it's definitely going to be one of our favorites, if not our favorite record for sure.
So I've been reading the comments on the new single, and a lot of people are wondering if this new album is going to have clean vocals in it. Could you give us a little bit of insight on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think the difference that I see between those two things is when I was growing up in like early '90s hardcore. When I went to see my old favorite bands like Honeywell, Indian Summer. Old Gravity Records bands like Angel Hair, all those like early '90s, mid '90s hardcore. Like, I guess at the time it was called like emo or whatever, but that's totally changed now. It's not even the same. But I don't know. When I went and saw one of those bands, they're just yelling the whole time. And I'd never seen that before. When I first got into punk rock and stuff, the way I saw it was, this band is so passionate about what they believe in or whatever they're singing about. It can't just be sung, and it has to be yelled. And so that's my first impression of that, and that's kind of how I do vocals. And I just feel like some parts are meant to be sung, some parts are meant to be like, like you're still a kid again, and you're just singing with the choir or something. But I think there's a definite difference between the two, and there's a good place for both. And I love melody, so I think that's always going to be a place in Norma Jean's future of music for sure.
Awesome. So how would you say the new album compares to previous releases?
I think Meridional lingered a little longer than we thought when we started writing this record, so we felt like at the beginning we were trying to beat that record. But once we really got away from that, and just kind of said, screw that record. Let's do something. Let's just do what we always do and get in the room together and write songs. So we ended up scrapping a lot of songs at the time, and I think we just felt like it was trying too hard to beat that record or even kind of be part of it, and we got away from it. But it's a easily noticeable progression of Norma Jean, but it's got a little old school and a little new school, and some other different stuff too. So lots to pick from.
Awesome. So what would you say the theme of this album is? Like, what does the title mean, and what's the kind of message that you would like to convey to listeners?
Wrongdoers is a word that we thought of really early on, but we weren't sure if that's really what we wanted to name it. But what we were looking for was like a word that we felt like brought everyone together, kind of bonded everyone. That's really hard to find, and it ended up being the opposite of what we thought it was going to be with Wrongdoers. And we just kind of defined it as, if a good way to bring everyone together is to know that no one's perfect, and that there is no judgment from anyone on another person, because no one is good enough for that. So that's, I think, what Wrongdoers is, and I think if you embrace that idea or whatever, you'll kind of face yourself in a way. And so I think Wrongdoers has a lot of themes like that. Struggle with love is a really big theme on the record too.
What do you say your favorite song on this new record is?
Probably Hive Minds. It's a song that we wrote in one day. After writing for 2 years, we were in the studio. We're like, screw these songs. I'm sick of them. Let's just write another completely new song right now. And so that's what we did. We had a bunch of leftover parts. They happened to fit together too perfectly, and so Hive Minds. It ended up being track 1 too.
Awesome. So what songs from this new album are you guys playing live here on this tour?
We're playing If You Got It at 5, You Got It at 50. Yeah.
That's all for now.
There's some other stuff from the record in there too, but until you hear the record, you won't know that it's part of it. So they don't have names or anything. It's just some stuff that we do. Yeah.
So you guys have been going for a long time. I saw you guys like my very first show ever when I was in 8th grade. What's the secret to being relevant for so long? Like, what keeps you guys going?
I don't think there's a secret or a formula or anything like that. But I think the main thing is just to be consistent in what you're doing. And what we've always done is try to push ourselves to try different things, to not be afraid of new or modern things even, but taking those things and making them us, part of us, Norma Jean. And that's kind of what we felt we've always done. And I don't know, we're going to be doing this for a while, so whether we're relevant or not is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. So with these lineup changes that you guys have had throughout these years, like how has that affected your band? It sounds like not at all, right?
Say it again.
Like for you guys have had like several lineup changes in your, since its inception, and like how has that affected your band? It sounds like it barely affected it at all. Like you guys just keep going no matter what.
Losing a member is really hard to do. I can't lie about that. Finding someone to replace a person, especially in this band, is really hard to do. It was really hard to replace Scotty and Chris Rains and Jake, but those things happen over a course of like 2 years, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, I always say that our fans have to remember that we are getting older, and we're in a hardcore band. We're jumping around, we're screaming. There is kind of a limit for some people, how long they want to do that, before it's time to, for them to really want to start thinking about, being at home, having a family. So understandable, and those guys have our blessing, but the guys we found fit right in. We worked really hard to look for guys and talk to them and see where they were and see how much passion they had for doing something, a full-on project. So we got Goose, we got John, we got Jeff. Those guys they're amazing. They brought a brand new energy that we desperately needed, I think.
Do you ever feel pressured to sort of accommodate what's popular, like in the music scene right now? Like you guys mentioned, you guys jump around, here and there with genre, and you guys are getting older. So have you ever decided to, kind of like change the sound of your band for, what's popular or, what's selling right now?
No, but if we had, I guess we might sell some records. But no, I mean, that hasn't been, what sells is Nickelback, really. It isn't, if we were really going to do that, we would think a lot bigger. and just because to do that, you have to understand that, like, and I've seen a lot of bands do it or try to do it. You have to understand that you are going to be alienating, everything you've built to that point. You're alienating it by leaving it behind and doing something else. That's not something we want to do. We do want to experiment with new sounds and new ideas, and we don't want to be afraid to try new things at all. But, if we're going to alienate our fans like that, then our next record is going to sound like Nickelback. And we're just going to sell out arenas and, go buy jet skis. or whatever. So, but no, no, not at all. That's not even a thought at all, ever. Never hasn't even been a conversation or anything.
Awesome. So lastly, what's next for Norma Jean after this tour wraps up? Either, touring, recording. I mean, you guys just kind of came up with that album, so I don't know. But
We'll finish Summer Slaughter, the best metal tour of the summer and the year, and then we'll be on the road all year. Try to get it up to Canada some more, maybe Mexico, and then we're planning into next year already, back to Australia, Europe, so we'll be on the road as much as we possibly can, and we have a really new, different live set that we're doing. We can't do the whole thing on this tour. Our set time is pretty short, but for any headlining date, you can expect to see some really cool, different stuff from us.
awesome. Okay, guys. Well, that is Norma Jean. Thank you for having us in this Kaim Interviews. Take it easy.
Tonight, say nothing more. How's the blame?